Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's third and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather. It's 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 28th of April, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that gets us into the middle part of April. I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video release was our 6M UK weather forecast, and we've also released the detailed European outlook. Extended European outlook on a Tuesday. We've released the detailed European outlook for the next week to 10 days today. Right, so check out those two bits. Like, share, and subscribe. All about good stuff. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. We're going to start off with centering temperature. The CT is now down 10.8. We've gone sub 11. Still 2.9 degrees, 3 degrees above 61 to 99 average provisional to yesterday, to the 17th of April. That will drop again. Dates tomorrow, because it was really quite cold in the CT region last night. They'll probably see that levelling off over the weekend, but I imagine next week the drops will gather pace. So I would have thought by this time next week we're probably going to be down somewhere into the 9s. So we'll see about that. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Next couple of weeks, we're at London again today. Red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off a little bit below average at the moment. We will see the upper air temperatures ticking up very briefly at the beginning of the weekend, but then falling away again. And next week looking really quite cool, or even cold actually, from an upper air temperature perspective. By day, as I've explained, the sun's got a lot of strength to it, got a lot of kick to it, so it won't feel too bad by day, but by night it will be again really quite cold. There could be some more overnight frost when skies are clear. At the very end of April and into the beginning of May, just signs of a bit of a recovery in the upper air temperature, but only back to sort of near average values. And of course, that's a long way off an extended range. So spring on hold, really, for the next week or two. Precipitation-wise, could be a lot of dry weather over the next week as well. Not completely dry, but there will be a lot of dry weather to come. Maybe signs that things are getting more unsettled, getting wetter again as we get to the very end of April into the beginning of May. But of course, again, that is a long way off at some reliable time frames. So, let's wait and see where we go. In the next week to 10 days, it's looking quite chilly, but also relatively dry-ish. And I've got an update from the temperature anomalies. So these updated last night with yesterday's or last night's GFS 12 said. So temperature anomalies is from the 17th to 25th of April, coming out below average in most parts of Europe, looking below average as well, it has to be said. I mean, into east parts of France, into Germany, the temperature anomaly is like 6-8 degrees below average. So really quite a substantially cold and average week to come. Big change what we've had through most of the winter. Whereas that in January, precipitation anomalies from 17th to 25th of April. They're coming out drier than normal, especially for more western regions. Latest weather map from earth.nullschool.net shows that we're drawing in a west-northwesterly today off the Atlantic. That's the reason that the upper air temperature, some of the temperatures will recover slightly for a brief period tomorrow and Saturday, but then fall away again probably as we go further on into the weekend and through next week. Okay, let's start going with chart data then. This is our latest UK Met Europe run. It's looking big night on Sunday. High pressure originating through the country into northern parts of Europe, mostly dry but chilly. And then into the beginning of next week, high pressure sticks around the country, putting a little bit of an east-northeasterly wind into southeastern corner. That could bring a few showers with it as well. High pressure is maintained out to west of the country through to the middle part of next week. Around that, we bring the wind in for more of a north or a northeasterly direction. So we stay on the cool side of the ridge, really, up to the middle of next week. Mostly dry, few showers possible in the east, mainly dry but chilly. Icon, again, that area of high pressure dominating the weather through the early part of next week, gradually easing out to the west again, pulling in this north-northeast wind, which will be quite a chilly wind direction. And heights gradually lowering as we get into the middle of next week. Actually gets this big day next Thursday. Heights are lowering, probably enough to start producing some showers, and we're still pulling in the wind from a north or northeast direction, so still relatively cool with the Icon model. The GFS midnight run, again, all much of muchness through Sunday into the beginning of next week. High pressure dominated weather, pulling in a northeasterly or an east northeast wind, which will be quite a cold wind, especially in the south and the southeast. And then go on into the middle of next week. High pressure out to the northwest, low pressure over on the continent, winds remain from northeast direction, staying cool or quite cold right way through next week. You actually bring a little area of low pressure in from the east. Now, if this had been, like January 25th, 26th, 27th, rather than April 25th, 26th, 27th, and we developed this low here over Germany and the Low Countries with a Scandinavian high, and then brought the low in from the east like that, that would have been like a classic snow scenario. Where was that? Where was that on the 27th of January or the 27th of December? But as we say, the spring is the most easterly of seasons. April and May are the most easterly months, so it's not that unusual to be doing that. But it is, again, a case of if only it was ... Anyway, that probably brings some quite wet weather in from the east as we go towards the end of next week. Bit of an outlier, I think, compared to all other model output. Around day 10 and just beyond it, low pressure remains the south, high pressure continues to be blocking up to the north, and that continues to bring the wind in from an east or northeasterly direction. There's not much change really as we get to the end of the GFS midnight run. The only difference is that gradually we begin to lose a blocking, and that starts to lift the temperature back up, something a bit more reasonable, I suppose, when we get into the beginning of May. Still mostly dry as well. But GFS 6 then, again, with high pressure dominating weather through northern and western parts of Europe on Sunday. And then into the early part of next week again, high pressure out to west-northwest, we're pulling in the wind from that chilly northeasterly direction. Gradually as we go through the week, heights lower, but we don't really get that area of low pressure coming in from the east. Although below is over the Low Countries, so not that far from us around day 9. Just generally keeping pressure gradient relatively slack. High pressure again out to west, trough of low pressure over the continent, and continue to pull the wind in from that quite chilly or cold northerly direction up to day 10. Beyond that, we go into the end of April and the beginning of May. High pressure remains blocking things out to the north, low pressure south. Again, we continue to pull in that wind from the east and from the northeast. And then lower pressure starts coming in from the Atlantic. That will at least warm things up as we change wind direction and pull the air in from off the Atlantic. However, it would of course be unsettled without low pressure bringing outbreaks of rain across the country there. That's the 4th of May, of course, as we get to with the GFS output today. May the 4th be with you. Sorry everyone. Right, if you enjoyed the video, please you like, share and subscribe. Please share everyone for doing that. Want to drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content, and don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids, get them to subscribe too. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. We've reached 18.1k, we're pushing on to 18.2k now, so if you could give us a sub, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, GM, again, high pressure in the north and the west of Europe on Sunday, and through next week, high pressure gradually eases away to the northwest, becomes a blocking feature in the Atlantic, pulls the wind in from the northeasterly direction, and quite chilly through next week. And as the week goes by, we gradually lower the heights, so turning a bit more showery as well, and then we actually drop in an area of low pressure around days 8, 9 and 10 with the GEM. So obviously the GEM turns much more unsettled by the end of next week under that area of low. Quite cold with that as well. And then the ECM looks like this. So once again, high pressure dominating the weather through the weekend to start next week. Gradually high pressure easing to our west, bringing the wind in from more of a northerly direction. And slowly but surely as we go through next week, we lower the heights, turning more showery, particularly so north. And similar to the GM, actually, we eventually, by days 9 and 10, drop in another area of low pressure. That brings unsettled conditions back with it by the final weekend of April. And also keeps it pretty cool as well, maybe quite cold even, with winds continuing to come from the northwest to northerly direction. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from meteo.com. Showery in the north at the moment. That rain will come southwards overnight, give a little bit of rain to southeast. Tomorrow, showers in the east, mostly dry in west. Over weekend, a lot of dry weather to come under that area of high pressure, few showers around the eastern coast, but mainly dry. Into the beginning of next week, again, lots of dry weather come as well. A few showers coming and going on those northeast winds, but most places staying dry until the end of next week. And then in comes that area of low pressure. We drop below in, bring outbreaks of rain, could be some snow across the high ground of Scotland. Looking quite wet there by the 27th of April. And eventually that wet weather gets out of the way and we open the door to those northwesterly to northerly winds yet again. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensemble today for data. The Icelandic Met Office gets us to 28th April. 15 members of the ECM Ensembles with low pressure to the east, high pressure is out to west, and winds coming in from a northwesterly to northerly direction, quite cool and showery. That does include the control and the operational run 11 with a trough of low pressure over the country combined with a mid-Atlantic ridge and a blocking feature around Greenland. Again, that's going to be unsettled and quite cool. We've got 9 with high pressure between Iceland and Scandinavia, low pressure to our south and our east. So unsettled and quite chilly with that. We've got 8 with low pressure to the south, high pressure blocking to the north, winds again coming in from a northeasterly direction, cool and unsettled. And then we've got a further 8 with high pressure to our west, low pressure to the south. So again, mostly showery in the south, mainly dry, I would have thought, up in the north, and continuing to be quite cool. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. It will go to the 3rd of May. 22 members of the ECM Ensembles then, with high pressure between Iceland and Scotland. So mainly dry, but could be quite cool. Perhaps some showers in the south. We've got 17 with high pressure to the west of Ireland. Low pressure over Denmark. Winds coming in from a cold or chilly northerly direction. And then we've got another 12, probably similar to the GEM, bringing low pressure in from the Atlantic and turning things probably milder, yes, but also rather more unsettled with further rain from the west. And then finally got an update from the CFS. Again, this is from late yesterday when this appeared. So these are 500 millibar high tides bring down into week periods. The first week period takes us from the 18th through to 24th of April. The next week has high pressure to the west, low pressure is to the east, and wind continue to be coming from a northerly direction. A lot of dry weather, but quite chilly. Week 2 will be the 25th of April to the 1st of May. Again, we've got high pressure to our north and west. Low pressure is to our south and east. So showery, probably quite cool, maybe even relatively cold. And winds in from the north-northeast. That looks unsettled, showery and chilly. And then week 3 will be, I've been waiting all week to do that, will be the 2nd to the 8th of May, with low pressure down towards Italy and in the Atlantic. Signs of the Azores high, trying to ridge in from the Atlantic. Could that be a sign of things starting to settle and warm up? No. No, we go through to week 4, which is the 9th to the 15th of May, and the high pressure's back to the west of the UK and Ireland. Low pressure somewhere between Iceland and Scandinavia. That will be showery and will continue to bring in relatively cool northwesterly winds. So spring remaining for the time being on hold. I wouldn't say delayed. I did say in the European Outlook it's a delayed spring. It's not really, because spring won't truly sprung in March, of course, and even in February. But at the moment, I would say spring on hold for the north and the west of Europe, and we'll see how long that is the case for. Anyway, we're done. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Please show everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And thanks so much for doing that. And yeah, please give us a sub, whatnot. Thank you so much, everybody. Right, just say what's happening on the channel tomorrow. Gavin 6M UK weather forecast, Jeremy Friday, and there'll be a 10 to 14 there as well. Please keep checking back to the channel for more. But for this one, that's all for now. And thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.